We are live. Welcome back to some early morning beer league. We got FF versus CC. As always, my co-caster Crimson Chin, hype man of the century.
Don't know much hype I'm gonna have today. Still rubbing the sand out of my eyes.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking early, but hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get the games played.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling these games are gonna wake us up pretty fast here, so they certainly will not be snooze fests.
Well, yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty bloody series, honestly. And I to quote Aloe from last night, they're gonna Shrek them. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, they're just gonna run around yelling, "Get out my swamp!"
Is CC gonna show that even gods can bleed? Let's find out.
Yeah, hopefully. But
Hopefully.
I think it's gonna be a bloody series. I think you're right. We might see, normally game one instead of game two is that are normally more bloody of two series where could have more than like a kill a minute potentially for the first 15 minutes, depending on how these drafts go, and if they want to run into each other, or if they just pick really safe comps that don't want to fight until they get to 2 or 3 item spikes even.
Well, from my experience, the second game is always a lot more bloody because everyone's like warmed up and stuff, and they're trying to make like those big plays. And I don't know, man. I'm really hoping that CC can pull a game because if they do, my fam is tied for second place. So
Yeah, because FF hasn't lost a game yet, right?
nope. FF and Team G have both not lost a game yet.
Yeah, we need to go and have some more parity in the league. Get some of these guys at the top to quicken their boots a little bit.
Yeah. I've always said I love seeing 1-1s, you know? Like, I like 1-1s because it's even and exciting and there's competitiveness and it's not just like a couple teams dominating, like sort of like how it happened last year. So,
Yeah, or even if there are 2-0s, having series that are just competitive. Because I know there are times where sometimes if like the game one is really close, sometimes I know it happens. I've been on the receiving end of this plenty of times where you lose a close game one, and then you go into game two, and then your whole team is kind of mental boomed. And then you go and you do the draft for game two, you're mental boomed, and then you go into game two, and it's just kind of over from the get go. And it's never a fun series to either play in or cast and watch. So
well,
I don't think these teams are going to give us that. So
well, I don't know if you watched the IQ games. Those things were crazy. Like both
I don't
games.
think so.
I know ODD ended up going 2-0, but holy crap. Those games were nuts. Like,
Yeah, you can have fun 2-0 series as long as just
yeah.
the games are entertaining or close. But there are times, like I said, where you just have a team mental boom after the first game, and they just throw in the towel before game two's even started.
Yeah, a lot of people don't believe in momentum, but momentum is definitely a factor when it comes to like your mentality for the next game. So,
For sure.
um, yeah, I think for the most part though, most of the beer league teams don't have an issue with tilting from the first game. You know,
Yeah.
they'll go into the second game fresh mind, be like, okay, like let's learn from our mistakes, do what we gotta do to pull this dub.
And that's the kind of stuff too that I think the beer league goes and encourages and helps people improve on too, where it's a completely different environment from solo queue, where I think it's more stressful sometimes in fives because you feel the hype, you feel the energy. You got to find a way to channel it yourself, and then also if your teammates are feeling down, prop them up.
Yeah, like make sure that everyone is like they're mentally ready for the next game, the pass of the past, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think one of the best pro teams that I can think of as an example that do that really well was G2 at their height.
Oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah,
I think even now still, what people like Yankos can go and then laugh at themselves, even when they do poorly. Like G2's mental is absolutely legendary for what they could go and go through, and then still come out laughing and making fun of stuff.
well, especially when you get like players like Perks, you know, Just always
Yeah,
laughing, always making fun of things. Like never
yeah, I'm
really.
trying to imagine like comms on like a regular basis with Yankos caps and perks.
You know what? That'd be hilarious. Like I would love to hear the comments from like the Perks Caps G2. Just them like jabbing at each other all the time, making fun.
Yeah, I watched the thing with Cadril, who's a former pro player. Now he's a analyst for the LEC. He was watching old G2 clips from 2019, like watching their comms when they were at Worlds in like their quarterfinals and semifinals matches, and listening to them do their comms was hilarious. Like they're in the middle of like a super intense like game and a team fight, and they're kind of just throwing jokes back and forth at each other. Even when they're like losing poorly, they're still keeping an upbeat attitude. So I think
That's
that's one of the things that makes a great team is just having an upbeat attitude, even when stuff is not looking so bright.
yeah. I think I think that's always a good mentality to have, you know. And I think that's something that a lot of the like beer league teams are good at. Like
For sure.
I look at like CC's team and I see Bailey and Aloe on the same team. So those comms are hype, you know? Like
Oh yeah.
those comms are funny, they're upbeat, they're like really positive. But we are moving into the draft.
And like I was saying before we went live, I think there's gonna be some priority potentially on Ari because we are on that new patch.
Yeah, and I do think that the changes that they did to her were really good in terms of her viability.
Yeah, she's a much healthier champ where it's not just about either you land your E or you don't do damage. Now it's a much healthier rotation.
Yeah.
We also see the new Pikachu being banned away already.
And Victor against Vermilion on the blue side. Pretty standard champ in beer league nowadays.
Yeah.
And the
Gotta hit
GP.
SDs. Yeah, that thing is legendary.
Yeah.
It can be played 80 carry, can be played top lane.
Do you know what's
You gotta get rid of it.
Do you know what's absolutely crazy though? He's
What?
just started playing that champion only a few months ago, and
Yeah,
he's become so
he's a quick
legendary on
learner.
it that
Yeah.
like it's almost a guaranteed ban in any series now.
He's a quick learner. It's JWM set, I'm assuming that they're banning away.
His signature set.
We'll see if they go and hit 80 carry. One of Reese's 80 carries, the Jinx. But I guess CC does have first pick, so that they could potentially pick it away themselves if they think that they don't want Reese to have it.
Well, I know Trooper really likes playing Jinx, like Jinx Kate. So I don't think they're. Ooh, is that? That's I Kill for Cute Dogs Yumi band coming out. Respect. But I do know that Trooper likes playing like those long range hyper carries like Caitlyn, Jinx, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to ban Reese out. He has such a deep champion pool in the bot lane that.
Yep. So we'll see what if FF target maybe one of those hyper carries away from CC if they go somewhere else with their ban.
It will be Rammus. Guaranteed that was a Reese. That was a Reese, Reese saying that. And Corky was left up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that will be the Corky in the mid lane for Bailey. And just so you guys know, there was I believe, some role swapping going around in CC. It will be Sleep now in the mid lane, Bromstein in the jungle, and JWM back in his original role up top. And Jinx.
And FF countering quickly with the Jinx and the Ari.
Ooh,
Sorry to cut you off there. I just got excited.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was like Reese is creaming right now. He's like, oh yeah, I get my hyper 80 carry. The new Ari that we talked about could be flexed between mid and top. But the one thing I'm concerned about Ari for FF is they're gonna get outranged if they don't get some longer range besides just the Jinx. I mean, Ari has the good mobility once she hits 6. But I see a Corky, a Jhin, and a Blitzcrank where FF either has to go and have really good disengage to keep, them not even disengage. They need to either match range or they need to go and have super hard engage to go and counter what CC is showing just from the first phase of draft here.
Yeah, and then Morgana does come out after the Blitzcrank is picked up. I do like that. I do like that pick.
Yeah.
But I really like CC's comp so far. Very pick heavy, like just burst the one person that they can grab, and quickly make the team fight into a 4v5, which I like. Um, but on the side of FF, they're pretty wily, um, especially when it comes to team fighting. Ari gets her multiple dashes now off her takedowns. Jinx gets her to get excited. Morgana has her
Yep.
black shield. Usually goes into Azonia's. So I really like FF's counter draft into CC here.
Yeah, me too. And then for CC, I'd like to go and see them have, you know, a jungler, like a highly mobile one that can affect the map. I think early. It's gonna be hard considering all the junglers I'd like to see being banned away already. But then besides that, at least one more good frontliner that can go in and create havoc for FF while Corki and Jin can free fire from the back line. So we'll see what they end up doing or what's available to them once bans are all done here.
Yeah, I'd really like to see. I know Braum really likes like Volibear. I think that'd be a really good pick into a comp like this.
Yeah.
Just being able to ult the backline, keeping them off the
Yep.
Corki, the Jin, you know, and going through the bans here, Hecarim and Dr. Mundo were banned against Mercenary Wolf and Zesty Queso, and then the Akali ban is to be expected as well. I know JWM really likes the Akali top lane right now with Chemtech item, and then the Nunu ban against Braum. Nunu ban's interesting. I don't know if Braum really plays Nunu, but
I think Ben has PTSD from Nunu after our fives games last night.
oh, you guys played fives last night?
Yeah, we did for a little bit. I helped FF scrim. I played support.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I would have joined in on that.
Yeah, I only played for 2 games and then I had to go away. I think they just kind of played regular stuff after that.
Yeah, we played poker and stuff last night.
Yeah.
So we'll be Bromsey on the Vi and then JWM on the Poppy.
Yeah.
Poppy, a pretty strong pick looking at the side of FF right now.
So here's my question with that though, right? So which one of those is jungle and which one of those is top lane?
I would assume it's Vi in the jungle. Would be my assumption. I know Vi can also go top, but I'm pretty sure it's Vi in the jungle. JWM on the Poppy in the top lane.
Okay, so Zesty pulling out the Garen as well.
Interesting team comp coming out of FF here. Kind of all across the board. They have pretty good pick. Pretty good team fight outside of, I would say, the Garen. But that might just be a Predator Garen who's looking to start these fights. So we'll see. Overall, though, I think CC drafted pretty well. They have a lot of engage, a lot of pick potential, a lot of lockdown for the really wily comp of FF. But going in, like, I know people like to pick the Poppy going into things like Ari and Zac and stuff like that. But that W lasts for like 3 seconds and it's on an extremely low cooldown. So if you waste it, you're not doing much outside of that, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, like, FF's only way of engaging team fights is like a Zac going in, or an Ari, or Morgana landing either a charm or a Q to go and kind of pick somebody. I mean, yeah, Garen can run fast at somebody, but like, if I'm the Garen and I look at CC's team comp, unless he gets in on a flank and he's not found on vision, I don't know how he gets on top of the carries.
That's true. With the Blitzcrank Poppy vibe sitting in front of him there.
Yeah, like I think Garen's gonna have a super hard time accessing the backline unless he's flanking and not caught on vision at all. If CC is properly positioning their front line and their backline in team fights.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of I'm just slightly surprised that CC went with the Jin over or something like an Ezreal, like a more poke heavy comp with the Corki, especially seeing that Ari and Jinx were both picked. So having someone with a little bit more mobility, I think would have been really good, especially when you can double it up with the poke that they offer. So I think Ezreal would have been a really good pick here. But I do like Jhin as a champion. I think he's super strong, very very strong carry, fast boy at the end of the end game, and can dodge a lot of these skill shots that FF are trying to throw out at him. But
Yeah. The only counterpoint I have to the Ezreal thing is like looking at CC's comp. If the Poppy is in the top lane, the Vi is in the jungle, they don't really have like a strong part of the map to play around with like a lane matchup that's either even or winning if you go Ezreal. I think because Ezreal is again like a scaling AD carry where he won't start doing meaningful damage until 2 items, and Corki's a scaling mid, and Poppy's probably gonna go tank, maybe even a little bit hybridy with like a Divine Sunderer. But I think you need to have an AD carry that can be strong in the early game to go and have at least one part of the map to play. And if you have a Blitzcrank too, I like having a Jhin with a Blitzcrank instead of an Ezreal. That's my personal preference, I think, for how I'd want to draft. And so I agree with CC's drafting of the Jhin instead of the Ezreal.
well, I guess my one thing would be look at the rest of CC's comp. They have an early game aggressive jungler in Vi. They have a weak side top laner in Poppy. They have a scaling mid laner in Corki. So you're kind of like waiting anyway for Vi ganks to have any sort of kill pressure at all. I guess like with the Jhin and Blitzcrank, they have kill pressure in that bot lane, but and I guess
Yeah, I mean,
Jhin is a super hyperscaler too. So I see what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah. And then, as I've learned recently too, apparently, I mean, Jhin can do damage to tanks, but like his role in this comp is not to go and like do damage to the Zac. That's gonna be the Corki's job.
Well, I mean, if he goes LDR third like he should, I think.
True, yeah. But even still, like I mean, that's the problem with Jhin in some comps, where if you draft a Jhin early and the opposing team goes and drafts like 2 beefy like tanks, his value goes way down normally.
Yeah.
But the fact that they only have a Zac, and then I mean Garen, yeah, he's a Juggernaut, but Juggernauts are just going to build normally just a lot of health, which isn't a big deal.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, like, I still stand by my Ezreal pick, given the mobility that the champion offers, like almost constantly. Going against like a Zac, Garen, Morgana who lands a bind and you're dead. Ahri lands a charm and you're dead. Zac gets an E on you as Jhin and you're dead. Like,
the other thing I'm thinking about too is Caitlyn wouldn't have been bad either.
I think Caitlyn would have been really good. Just that inherently long range, able to have your spacing, against the initiate heavy champions of FF. But I think Caitlyn Blitzcrank is kind of an underrated lane. Kind of for the same reason that Lux, like Caitlyn, is so strong. It's all reliant on the support landing their ability, and then you kill them after that. No.
Yeah, the supports truly enable how successful their AD. I mean, that's how it is in most lanes, but even more so when you're playing a Caitlyn with like an Enchanter support like a Lux or like Morgana, where they have to hit their skill shots in order for Caitlyn to go and truly maximize her early game potential of just out trading the opponents and forcing them back, getting turret plates. And if you do it like perfectly, like Dignitas did yesterday, if anybody watched LCS, they got like first tower bottom lane and swapped the Caitlyn top, and she was still getting like turret plates on the top lane before they even fell out before 14 minutes. And the gold lead was just so out of control, they just won the game because early lead in the Caitlyn lane can do that, where you just snowball super hard early.
That was Dignitas into Immortals, right?
Yeah, Immortals doesn't look like a good team this year.
No,
but again, that's one game, but they didn't look good in lock-in either, though. So
it's kind of sad because, like, Immortals has Power of Evil, and like he's just a world-renowned player, you know, like super good, and it kind of sucks that like you have this guy with so much talent in the mid lane for this particular team, but nobody else around him. And it feels really bad.
Like to me, like that goes in showing a thing of like if you go and put a bunch of people who are really good players on a team together, if their different styles of play or their understandings of how they want to play the game don't mesh, it doesn't matter, I think, how good you are. At some point, people who maybe are less individually talented than you and have better cohesion will win. I think that's been shown in beer league sometimes too,
Like people
where
just
if you
play
have,
together more often, like know how each other plays,
yeah,
stuff
well,
like
not
that.
just playing together more often, but just their play styles. Where if you have teams where you have a player who's really good at one specific type of thing, but is inflexible to try to going and adapting to stuff for like the rest of his team might want to play, it makes like drafting really hard. It makes playing games hard sometimes if you're always like pigeonholing yourself to one thing. Like that's something that beer league has forced me personally to grow in. And I've been appreciative of where when I first started playing beer league as a top laner, I had probably like 4 or 5 champs I could comfortably play. Um, top lane. It was basically like 1 or 2 split pushers and then just weak side, top side tanks. But like as I played more and more in beer league, it's like okay, I want to offer my team more options for me to be able to play different play styles, different champs, and it forced me to grow my champ pool. Especially where in some games, if they go and ban out 2 or 3 of your champs, it really pigeonholed you. So um, I think anybody who's played in beer league long enough will agree to that. Beer league forces you to grow. Um,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
because
again one of my favorite things about the league too.
yeah, because people will ban you out. Like it does, like it forces you to grow as a player and as like a team player, but it also forces you to open up your champion pool because it's been very evident in particular series where one person will have 4 bans thrown at them just to get them on something that they're not comfortable on. So I think beer league does definitely like encourage you to grow as a player.
Yeah, you can't be a one trick in this league.
Oh
People
no,
will
hell
figure
no.
out your one trick really fast.
Oh yeah, like every time we play customs, Renekton banned.
Mhm.
Every time, like
Yeah,
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
yeah. And like me for the last 4 seasons, Shovel Boy banned. I don't get to shovel bonk anybody on the head anymore. It's not fun. But so going into this game though, Elias, if you had to go and pick who's gonna win the game, give me your predictions before we go and have any shenanigans happen.
You know, I would love to say CC. I really would. Um, but I think FF is gonna win.
I'm gonna go and do. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, not just because you said FF, but because I do truly believe CC has the better draft. I think they have the range advantage. I think they have the potential to not only engage but also disengage. I think FF's gonna have a hard time just dealing with the draft that CC has done. Also, we're looking at sums here. Zesty went TP on the Garen. It's Conqueror, so to me that even says that the Garen's gonna have an even harder time getting in and being relevant in these team fights.
Yeah, usually you do
If he has
see.
like Ghost Predator,
Yeah, usually you see Ignite too on Garen's, trying to bully that early game, get that early game lead.
yeah, and he would definitely be able to do that against a Poppy because again, like
Oh,
Poppy can't do much against the Garen in lane. I think Garen definitely wins that lane.
yeah. When it comes to trading, a lot of people underestimate the power of Poppy Q though. Poppy Q does a lot of damage, especially if you get hit by both procs of it.
Oh yeah,
That's a crap ton of damage. So, I think dipping and weaving, like go in, hit your Q, maybe get an auto, and then back out is the way Garen should play this lane. Um,
yeah.
is Garen E a channel?
No, it's not.
It's not. They should definitely make that a channel. I don't know why it's not a channel. Like that, they should make that interruptible.
Yeah. So across the rest of the board, I don't see any other runes. Morgana did a Glacial Augment too, which it's a little bit interesting. I don't know if that's a common thing. Now, I know Glacial's a pretty common item among a bunch of people.
I like Glacial Augment and Morgana. Um, kind of gives you that like that safety of knowing after you land your Q, you can go in and still trade. You don't have, yeah, because of the damage reduction. I would say JWM has the setup here to get that wall bonk. Does take a big chunk out of his SDK, so nicely done by JWM.
Yeah, that's just a Poppy capitalizing, I think, on
Positioning.
Zesty not realizing. Yep.
Yeah. And JWM did go into Biscuits, so he has the lane sustain here. Hopefully he can push Zesty out, but he has to keep damaging him or else he's gonna heal all of his health back here. So I think every time Poppy has her passive up, she should be trying to hit the Garen.
Yep, because you use that because she went grasp too. Like, so I play Poppy. You have the grasp up. You just try to slap the opposing champ and get a pretty easy grasp proc. It's like Gangplank, range.
Zesty Queso again pushed back, has to flash out. JWM getting the first summoner spell of the game. Nicely done. Reese getting the black shield down. The Dark Bind does not hit, but Owl taking a lot of damage from Reese trying to clear that pink ward. Is just gonna let it go.
Zesty already forced a TP back top early too.
Yep. Which is really, really big. Both summoners down for the size Zesty Queso here.
Yeah.
Oh,
so look like so now the Poppy and the Vi are roaming. But the Poppy and Vi are roaming mid lane. Oh, Vermilion tries to trade back, knowing he's dead already.
Oh, Vermilion flashes in for the Q to take down Sleepy, but misses. Nicely done. Nice footwork out.
So that's the really cool thing right there is that kill mid lane happens because of the advantage that Poppy got topside.
Yeah.
That's all going in, like creating small advantages in your lane and then transferring it to other places on the map. Little domino effect there happening. So good job from JWM, and then also just from CC to go and turn that pressure topside into a kill mid lane.
My one thing is if I see a Vi charging out of range, I know there's gonna be a flash. So, as the mid lane player that's getting ganked, you have to kind of predict that. Like, if you feel like you're gonna get flashed on, or you feel like you're in a really bad situation, you have to preemptively flash. And the thing is that I guess I don't remember. I don't know where Mercenary Wolf was at that time. But if you can flash and get out of that gank and then make your way towards, nice, nice binding on the minion there, Cade, and make your way towards your jungle, you can turn the fight eventually. But
yeah, I didn't see where it was, but I think if I recall correctly, he was farming his bot. He might have been doing scuttle or bot side.
So he would have been in the vicinity if he would have flashed like downwards towards bot lane.
Maybe, but I think Ben just in his mind thought that he was dead regardless. He just tried to trade back 1-for-1 with the Corki, which is unfortunate because he used his flash to try to get the kill on Corki and didn't get it. So now he's flashless in the mid lane, which means he's that much more vulnerable for the next 4 to 5 minutes.
He uses his ignite as well, so that's another summon.
He hits 6 first, hits the charm.
Oh my god, this is actually pretty big, but Ahri level 6 damage isn't that much. That ult does not do that much damage.
Yeah.
Those are really nice.
I was just gonna say, like, once Ahri hits 6, like, it's not that big of a deal her not having flash because she has the ult, but like she just used her ultimate. So like now, if I'm the Vi, I'm licking my chops. There's a flashless, ultless Ahri in the mid lane, just waiting to be taken advantage of.
And they do take advantage of their early game lead here, picking up that early dragon.
Yeah, they got the bot priority to shove in bot lane. Pick that up. It's a Hex Drake. Second Drake can be Cloud, so our souls are going to be Mountain.
This is
Infernal,
probably a dead JWM. Oh, he gets the ult off before Zesty Queso was able to ult him. Nicely done.
Yeah, Poppy hits him with a nope, and like that's another thing I like about CC's comp is besides the Poppy having the ult for just, disengaging herself, in lane, in team fights later in the game, you'll quickly find yourself, going from a 5v5 to a 4v5 or a 3v5, depending on how many people Poppy hits with that ultimate, and then these team fights that I think are already in CC's favor on even footing are just going to get that much worse for FF if Poppy can land a good disengaging ultimate.
LV, this is the first game of the series. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I got you. So looking across the board, gold relatively even. The only difference in the gold basically being the first blood gold in the mid lane. No one's hit their first items yet, mythic-wise, across the board. Corki again going for that scaling build where he's got the tier stacking already. A little bit down in farm to the Ahri, but again, even with Ahri's changes, with her being I think a little bit more relevant throughout the whole game,
my bad.
the Corki can go and definitely outscale the Ahri.
I really would have liked to seen the tier going out for Poppy here too. But he opts into the more defensive items, which I think is okay too, especially in that lane bully lane that he has going on here. And Vermilion doing another aggressive ult here. Bromstein using his ult early, trying to get that kill off. Sleepy takes him down. Nicely done by Braum to be there. And as you can see, he was waiting. He was waiting in that river bush, waiting for Sleepy to clear that ward out. Big pickup by Aloe.
Yeah, like they go and get that kill because he cleared out the vision. So when Ben, Vermilion went for that trade, thinking he had a clean 1v1, the vision that he'd used to protect himself was gone, and then the Vi just waited for that.
Oh. And Zesty has to flash out as well. That was a really nice sequence of abilities there coming out of Trooper.
So I like the rotation out of FF though, where they go, realizing that, they're losing a little bit of tempo in the game. So what they do is they swap their bot lane up to make sure they secure that Herald, put the numbers to get the Herald. So, but that trade only matters if the Herald that they get is at least equal to the value or more than what CC is getting. They're getting plates. Bot side, I didn't see how many plates they got out of it.
Looks like they're gonna pick up one more here before Zesty's able to get back in the lane.
Yeah. They blew his flash too, so I think 3 plates is what, 240 gold?
Yep. Wait, no. It's 160 each, isn't it?
Oh yeah, okay, so that's 480 then.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're getting the same here. They got 3 plates down.
The one thing I don't like is that Reese didn't get solo gold on that.
I don't think putting gold into the hands of Morgana is bad either. Let her get that early Zonias so she start making the plays going into the mid game.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I think getting that big chunk of early game gold on the hyper carry is always good as well.
Yeah. Oh, Vi's gonna go and steal this buff 100%. Oh, but she has to flash out.
I don't think she needed to do that.
I don't think that's worth. I mean, she didn't know where the rest of FF was, so I guess she's just being safe. But I don't think a flash is worth it for a blue buff, in my opinion. But...
Yeah, a flash isn't worth 100 gold. That was pretty funny. Thank you, Braum.
But yeah,
that's...
We do have Drake coming up here in 30 seconds too, so that flash being down is gonna be super relevant potentially. Yeah. Look at this. I like CC though. So Drag's coming up. Zesty does not have TP and he's pushing in top. So technically, if the Poppy comes and roams all the way down, they will have numbers advantage and force the Garen to have to walk down first.
But I don't think Zesty needed to come down. I think trading that dragon for the first turret of the game is a good way to get that gold lead, like that gold lead equaled out. But.
Potentially, but it's a little scary because I think if you're, again, the way I look at the drafts and the comps, I think CC's comp scales harder into the late game, and I think if you're FF, you have to go and not give them, I think, 2 free uncontested Drakes because the game could be lost depending on how the third Drake and what the soul is too if you give over 2 early Drakes.
That's fair. Did you see JWM uses E to dodge the charm? That was really freaking good. Big brain. But it looks like they will just pick it up anyway, uncontested.
Yeah, and it's a mountain soul too, so that means the poppies can be really hard to kill. Let's see if they wait out the black shield here.
That's pretty big for both sides, I think.
Oh,
that black shield lasts forever. What?
Yeah, that was much longer than I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna die out.
Yeah, so it looks like the Garen did get the tower top side, which is a pretty good gold injection for him. That puts him up to, I think. He's basically tied as the richest person in the game with the Vi here.
Ooh, nice pickup from Aloe. This will be I kill for Cute Dogs going down. Wasn't able to get his black shield off in time. Nicely done. Nice turnaround from CC.
Yeah, and there's that combo where if Blitzcrank lands that hook, you're probably gonna be CC'd for quite a while with the Jin W rooting you after the Blitzcrank hook and knockup.
And CC playing really well in this early game here. 3-0, only about 1,000 gold lead, but that's pretty good. The charm does miss, and Vermilion thought it was gonna land. Uses his ultimate to try and get in on him, but is unsuccessful. Nice sidestepping from Sleep A.
First Mythic coming through for the Vi with Divine Sunderer. Totally agree with that. Corky's got the Manamune done. I assume he's gonna go the is it Ludens he goes for his Mythic with that build?
Yep. It's Mirror Mana, Ludens, Ravenous, Hydra.
Yeah.
And that's the 60% or health bar gone in one rocket build.
Turret plating will soon fall.
So gold lead's grown a little bit from. Oop.
Sleep has. He has to try and get out, but he will be taken down here. Probably. Nope. He is able to flash out after his W goes down. Nice gank setup from Vermilion, but weren't able to get on him early enough.
Yeah. I thought he was dead for sure, and I think Zesty thought he was dead too, because I see Zesty has flash and ult up, so maybe he thought he was dead for sure and didn't want to use them, but Sleepy does get up with the skin of his teeth.
And Bromstein is here in the mid lane going for that kill. He does have the Divine Thunder, so he will be taken down. Vermilion dying yet again.
Yeah, that Ahri is not very mobile without, a flash or ult. The W does give you a slight speed burst, but I think they reduce the amount of time you get the speed and the speed up you get, so you definitely can't get away from a Vi that's going to ult on top of you.
I really do like how Bromstein is abusing this mid lane, not having ultimate, not having sums. Really good communication coming out from CC here.
Yeah, any jungler out there that's looking for tips to go and know where you're supposed to go to. If you're a ganking jungler like a Vi, you go to the lanes that go and either have good setup, CC for you, or they don't have good escape ability, so like their flashes or mobility abilities that allow them to get away from whatever gank you're trying to bring in.
Yeah, very nicely done by Braum. 100% KP this game. Sleep A 100% KP this game as well. Oh no, wait, nope. Nope, it'd only be 75 now that Jin got that kill in the bot lane. I forgot.
Yeah.
That bounce.
Yeah. The other thing too is like not only have obviously CC's winning the game, but they've completely made this Zac non-existent. Where a lot of times where I've looked at Zac like coming to gank lanes, and he gets caught out in vision, and then CC's appropriately backing up, or by the time the Zac gets there, the play that he can do is already over because the person he's trying to gank for has died. But that's the thing too. Like when you play against a Zac jungler, you have to go and put your wards not in places to like watch a jungler approaching like you would normal junglers. You put him in the spots where he's gonna try to jump from. And CC's done a very good job at warding out the Zac.
I do agree. FF trying to pick up Rift Herald, the second Rift Herald here.
Yeah. And I'm guessing they're gonna go and get this and try to use it as this Drake is spawning. To go and force Drake priority.
Oh no, Aloe in a bad position here. He will flash out, but Vermilion picks up the kill. Gets that ult reset. Has 3 in the chamber. Or 2 in the chamber now. Big setup from Bromstein, but he will be CC'd down. Almost picks up the kill. Reese, Trooper snipes the Reese in the back line. This fight is looking the way of CC. Zesty Queso flashes in. Gets the kill on Trooper. Nicely done. Big Q coming out. Mercenary Wolf there. JWM will fall next. Sleep A looking for the kill on the Akio for Q Dogs, and will get it. Bromstein and Sleep A trying to back out here. Aloe is back up though. This is a 3-for-3 3VP for this dragon.
Yeah, that was a really disjointed fight from both sides where the momentum, like the tilt in that fight going from one side to the other an advantage, and all in all I think FF comes out ahead because they're going to get first priority on Drake here. But Poppy does have TP and Zesty does not, so Poppy could TP and quickly they could go and have numbers here. We'll see if the Poppy TP's in right away as soon as she comes back alive here in a second. She does.
Bromstein did not go back. He is at half health here. Big Aloe pull. Trying to pop that Zac passive, isn't able to quite get it. But he is chunked out for the upcoming fight here.
Yeah, and that's the range disadvantage I'm talking about in draft right there, where like I don't know how you go and contest CC, especially when they have more numbers than you too because of the Poppy TP. So the Poppy TP, you have the numbers advantage and the rage advantage, and your carries, your Ari was resetting, and I think your Jin was too. Not the Jin, the Jinx. So
Trooper eats
really
the
didn't
Morgana
matter.
bind. The Ari charm follows up here. That ult is back up again already. What is the cooldown? JWM, Bromsey going on to Reese Race in the back line here. Sleepy trying to belt out as much damage as he can. They both will fall, but Poppy will fall as well. 2-for-2 fight coming out after that dragon take. Bromstein
More
having his...
bind to cancel the back there. Yeah, you're right. Brom's having an amazing game on this Vice.
And Ben's Vermilion's coming back into it too. Now even
Yeah.
KDA was 0-3.
Yeah, went
at
from
one
being
point.
that's a good turnaround for him getting the the Ari's skirmishing has gotten much stronger with the new changes to her kit, where having potentially up to 6 dashes, I believe, is the max amount of dashes you
Yeah.
can have in a team fight.
And look at that cooldown. Like that's such a low cooldown. She has that every single fight. Like kind of hard to work around that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can have up to 8, I think. I think it's 8 with takedowns. Is that nuts? She could dash 8
Yeah.
times in a team fight as long as she gets a takedown.
I mean, I like it. I like abilities that have conditional things where, like, if you go and are using it in team fights, like, proactively and, like, getting stuff done, getting rewarded by getting more uses out. I think that's a fine change, especially from how she used to be.
Yeah, it was definitely like a quality of life thing. You take out her conditional burst damage, you take out her sustain, but you give her more mobility in team fights and more of like a presence in team fights. Because before it was kind of blow your load and then wait on CDs, you know.
Yep.
And that always feels bad as like a I don't know. I would classify Ari as an assassin. Maybe not anymore. Maybe more control mage more now.
I'd still say she's an assassin. I mean, she's highly mobile and highly bursty. But let's see, look across the board at items that are finished here too. Jinx going for the Kraken Slayer. Oh boy, here we go. Potential dive? No.
Vermilion using these ults aggressively, like this entire game.
And like you said, normally I'd be a little bit more critical of that, but if the cooldowns is really that low, it's not that big of a deal. As long as he understands he has to play a little bit safer when he doesn't have that mobility from the ultimate.
Yeah, look at this cooldown just tick down. That's such a low cooldown.
That's got to be like under a minute cooldown, and the only items he has for
69 seconds. But it's almost halfway up again already. Like that's just nuts.
So I think if you're CC here, you know that FF really doesn't have a lot of Baron shred at this point. Jinx doesn't have enough gold to really shred Baron. I think you just play for this Dragon Soul here coming up in a little under 2 minutes.
I completely agree with you. Keep the fight around objectives. Stop getting picked out. At least with objectives, it's more of a like face-to-face thing. You're not like sitting in a lane and a vibe just pops out of a bush. You know, like as long as you're focusing your fights around objectives, you can kind of lower that flank risk that CC has.
Yeah, and I like to go and see. I mean, both teams here. You know, get your top lane shoved out, and then rotate your top laners over. Get mid lane prio and get some vision. At least in the river, if not in your opponent's side of the jungle here. So we'll see what the teams decide to do. I think Reese probably wants to get a reset off here in the next 30 seconds, and they are getting the recalls. So good timing on their recalls. We'll see what he goes back to shop with. He's got
he probably has the
1,500 gold seed
LDR.
inventory.
No, it is Fam Dancer. I think Fam Dancer's a good pickup here. You think?
Yeah, and this fight's gonna be nuts because as I look across the board, I think all sums are up for everybody. All flashes are up. So we'll see what ends up happening.
I'm kind of surprised about Zessy's build path here. He goes into the Deadman's instead of going that really common that second crit item. What is it called? That one that gives like attack speed and AD. And
I know its name escapes me right now, but again, like as a Garen, he's not gonna get a chance to really do a lot of damage. Like, he has to be able to get on top of people, which is
Yeah.
why he needs an item like a Dead Man's
That's fair.
second, I think. Oh, he's dead.
Big Q coming out of Aloe. He does have the flash. Zestikissa does have flash out there. Turning the fight around. The assassination on the Bailey comes through. Bromstein ult in the Black Shield target. Spencer being zoned off by Vermilion here. The TP does come out of JWM, but the fight's already over. Big pickup from FF.
Yeah, Zesty doing his best bait impersonation there. Went and baited CC into picking a fight, and CC, again, I think that's a much better fight if the Poppy is there or TPing in right when that pick happens, but she recalled instead, and then TP'd very much after the fight was over, so
Yeah, I think
good jump on FF to go and do that fight and take a dragon.
Yeah, I think a little bit of communication error there. With the Triforce Deadman's plate, Garen, Jin and Blitzcrank alone aren't going to be able to burst that champion out. You need the hard CCM, have the CC chain, and the people weren't there to do it. So,
Yeah, and the only thing they got out of that was just Garen's flash, so I know that Reese did end up using both his sums to end up securing that kill on the Blitzcrank, I think, at one point with the Zac.
and Vermilion played that really well. Assassinated Bailey, zoned out Trooper out of the rest of the team fight. Like, Vermilion playing out of his mind after his rough early game here.
Yeah, and I love to see that's like the strong mental we were talking about earlier too, where you had an early, rough laning phase, but you're still showing that you still have value even though laning phase didn't go the best for you. And again, this new Ahri, like we've been talking about, highly mobile, more damage in her kit overall. It's not just conditional on laning the charm. And yeah, if you get those resets, you can go and do so much in skirmishes like that in a tight little corridor. It's not a clear, clean front-to-back team fight. It's just an absolute melee brawl. And I think this FF actually has a gold lead now. Part of that is because I think they have the turret advantage too, where they have all of the tier 1 outers. So some standing gold for CC to pick up if they eventually get that tier 1 in the mid lane and the top lane.
Yeah, and there's about a 2,000 gold lead between Zesty and JWM. That's pretty substantial.
Yeah, there's a Garen with no flash.
Aloe does get the knockup, but JWM just doesn't have the damage. Is his E back up? It is. The Jin W comes out, roots him in place. Zesty just trying to get a kill on Aloe before he goes down, but he will not be able to. Bromstein, one full combo, taking half of Reese Race's health out. And Trooper trying to get the snipe, but he's able to get out. Nice Q flash coming out of I Kill for Cute Dogs. Get out of a nasty situation.
Yeah. So I like to see them go and try to get priority around the Baron here with this. Get the Baron vision. And then push, I think, either mid or top and get those tier 1s. Because you force the Jinx to back and the Garen's dead, so you definitely have numbers advantage. They just starting Baron? They are just starting Baron.
Looks like they are. They forced Reese Race back. This is a really ballsy play.
I like it though. You have the numbers advantage. Garen will have TP when he comes back alive, but if he TP's in, it's gonna be too late.
But Reese Race is almost here.
Yeah.
Like they
See
might
what
be able
the
to
Zac
get,
is
they
with
might be able
vision.
to get the Baron, but
Oh, the Poppy W to stop the
very
Zac from
nicely
coming
done.
in. That's Baron.
that will be Baron. But will they just die here? Bromstein takes down is taken down Zesty Case, so picking up the kill. Wow,
so
so much.
Corki got out with Baron. If the Poppy will as well.
Poppy and Corki both have Baron. Okay.
That's totally worth it for a CC in the end, though. You get 2 members out with Baron. Corki, I think, being the most important one to get out with Baron.
And
And if I call Baron itself is what, 2,000 gold?
1,500.
1,500?
Yeah. And they don't. And the important thing is that they don't have any way of taking an objective out after getting those 3 kills either. So that was definitely in favor of CCE, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you forced the Garen TP there, so now you got 2 members with Baron to push waves out, which means you can have pushing waves, probably use it to pick up all this standing gold on the map and those tier 1 turrets in the top and the mid, and your Poppy will have TP advantage over the Garen fight. So, I think I'm fine with Sleep Bay going top because he has TP as well, but I think you want to put at least one of your members on a CC top with your teleport to make sure you're guaranteeing that tier 1 turret to get some gold up there, and then have the rest of your members mid lane.
I think CC will take this mid lane turret down here with his Baron minions.
Yeah, they definitely should.
Do they don't have numbers to do it though, but the cannon is just wailing on it. This might just be
Yeah.
it going down. It will. Alright.
Just like that, we're all tied up on gold.
Yep. Trooper in a precarious situation here. Sleepy did back. He is on his way over now. This is Soul Point. And outside of having Baron minions, Baron buff gives quite a bit of stats too, so this would be a pretty good time for CC to fight. Sleepy is here.
Look how hard it is for FF to get in here with like the range disadvantage they're at. Zach's gonna jump in though, I think.
And Sleepy does have package,
Yeah.
so they should be looking for this fight here.
Oh, okay. Vermilion's out. Boom. We got a 4v5. JW
And,
on front lining.
And defensive package coming out from Bailey. Bromsey trying to get onto the Jinx here is taken down. Mercenary Wolf survives too. Ben in the backline playing assassin. Reese and Ben just eating up their backline there. A clean ace coming out of FF. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Questionable package in my opinion from Sleepy there. I feel like you should have maybe used it to try and get on FF's backline.
Yeah, I think FF goes and wins that fight due to poor setup from CC, where, again, CC, you have Baron. You don't have to go and do the drag fight right as it spawns. Go and force FF to make a harder decision where, with those Baron buffs, you push in, their lanes and force them to either lose minions, and just giving them that. And again, you're right, like the Corki package, have the Corki being, a different place to have a good offensive package there. The other thing too is like the Blitzcrank and the Poppy frontlined, and we're both down to half health by the time the Poppy ult came out and ulted out the Ahri. So they frontlined a lot, and it didn't really matter because they were so chunked out by the Jinx damage at that point. It didn't really matter.
Yep, and that is the Fan Dancer LDR Kraken Slayer Jinx. Tank melting at its finest.
Yeah.
And
here's the scary thing too is now FF have picked up 2 Mountain Drakes. So the Zac and the Garen, while not doing a lot of damage, are going to be incredibly tanky now.
It does feel bad as CC to get those 3 early game Drakes and then just have like not being able to get that soul. And due to that cleanness as well, the bot lane turret was picked up. 2 mid lane turrets and an inhibitor picked up as well. So really big play coming out of FF. That gold differential at about 5k now. Which is a long ways from being even after Baron.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's really scary on the side of CC now where I think, again, even though I've talked about, I think they have the comp advantage. Now they're far enough behind where I think in straight up 5v5s, I think they lose right now until this Corki scales a little bit more to where, and again, like they shouldn't be going for straight up 5v5s. It should be you go and try to get some vision and let the Corki just do his job of poking down the opponents before you try to go and pick a fight here.
Because he does have that 3-atom power spike, which is where he
yeah.
starts like chunking half health of people.
Yeah, he's huge right now.
Yeah. So I do agree. I think letting Corki, not really looking for the hardcore initiate to set up fights, just letting Corki poke down, center around this next Baron or Dragon. Let Corki just poke him out. Make sure that the fight is in your favor before it even starts.
Yep. So Baron spawning in about 25 seconds here. Ahri's getting a reset. She should have enough to finish off that death cap and inventory she's been building up. Yep, there we go. So that Ahri is incredibly hard hitting right now, and I don't think, I'm trying to look at the side of CC and see how much magic resist they have. Not a lot. So that Ahri is going to hit everybody that she tags, because they're going a lot of armor on the side of CC. So if Ahri goes and unloads a combination on any of them, she should hit them very, very hard.
Yeah. I think this is one of those games where you just kind of like bite the bullet as Jhin. You don't get your last crit item and you get that Edge of Night, because having any CC landed on you is pretty much just a death sentence at this point in the game. So, or get QSS, one or the other.
He does have the Gale Force, so he at least has a little bit of mobility.
Yeah, there's just so much forms of CC on the side of FF here. So, and Reese just starting up the Baron here. They are spotted out on a ward, but Reese is just eating this thing.
Sleep is TPing in.
Oh. Aloe is tagged by the Ahri Charm. Will be chunked down. Zesty Queso looking for the buy. Mercenary Wolf doesn't hit the Q, but the E, but it doesn't matter. Zesty Queso also the wall takes down. And Reese just going ham for this last kill here. But he will be chunked out by Sleepe. The GA comes out though. Nicely done by FF.
That should be game.
And this probably will be the game. And this is just kind of evident of FF just keeping a really good mental in this early game here. They were pretty far down. JWM doing everything he can to try and stop this game from being over. Trooper is picked up by the Q, but isn't tossed back. And this will be the game going down for FF game 1.
CC making me look like a fool. I put my faith in him.
Hey man, stuff happens, you know. Like you,
can't be right all the time.
What am I? I think I'm like that puts me at like 1 in 6 right now for predictions. So got a dub, boys. Let's go.
I think I was actually perfect up until this game. I think I'd only casted 4 games.
But honestly, I have to give the MVP of that game to Ben. Super strong mental, 0-3 in the early game laning phase. Really hard to look at the game positively outside that. But he kept really cool, and was kind of a huge pinnacle in why those team fights were going so well.
Yeah. Not only is he MVP of the game, but he's also MVP of the damage charts as well.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's kind of what happens when you're a 4-item APC and no magic resist on the enemy side.
Yeah, I mean that's how scared they were of the Jinx and I guess and then the Garen as well.
Very clean play of FF to pull that one around. We should be heading into game 2 here soon.
Okay, I gotta get up and go grab another beer.
All right.
Casting's a risky work.
Oh yeah. All right, we do have our next draft coming in here. We are time restrained, so we're just going to say we're ready, even though Crimson's not here. Honestly, super stellar play coming up, FF. Ben just playing like a madman mid to late game there, doing exactly what he needs to do, getting those picks, getting those assassinations. like a big play was that fight over Dragon where he assassinated Bailey over the wall, and then ulted over the wall to zone Trooper out the rest of the fight. Absolute madman. Played it perfectly. So, and he's on my fantasy team. So, Ben, thank you. Appreciate you for the stellar plays and for the points. And we are moving into the second draft here. I'm kind of curious to see what CC will do. I think at this point you just kind of pull out something nutty, something that you're comfortable on that isn't exactly like the meta. And I really hope that CC do that, because I'm really looking for a CC dub here. The salty run back bands coming out. Victor, Zeri, Set, GP. Same bands as last game.
Okay, I'm back.
As I was telling the viewers, I think it's time for CC to pull out something really spicy, like really off meta, really off kilter, just something to throw this game in their favor. And
See, I'm gonna have to go and disagree with you, because the point I was thinking to myself was, I really like their draft, and they were piloting it. Well, I mean, they got all the advantages in lanes by themselves, but I think they just mis-executed, in the game itself once it came to that, basically that fourth Drake fight.
Well, and I understand what you're saying, but when you're at the end of the road here, you just do something that you want to do, you know? Like I'd really like to see JWM on something like his signature, like Nico, a champion you don't see a lot, but in the right hands can be a monstrous champion. That's what I'm hoping for. Something along those lines.
I have a feeling CC is gonna pick Poppy again.
Wouldn't be a bad look, honestly.
I see a Jarvan, and right away I'm like, Poppy completely neuters everything Jarvan wants to do.
Yeah, because it will stop his ultimate as well.
Yeah, but I'd want to see Poppy in the jungle and not in the top lane then. Unless the top laner also has dashes too.
Lulu being picked up for a kill for cute dogs, even though Yuumi was up. Jinx Thresh, pretty strong leg coming out of CC. One of Trooper's signature champions there in the Jinx. So, understandably, why they let the Corki through. And Vex being picked up for Bailey in the mid lane, one of his favorite mid champions. I'm always excited to see a Vex. They can make such good plays, and they're really like, I love playmaking champions, like hypey playmaking champions.
Yeah, I mean, Vex is a good champ to go and again answer some of that long range poke from the Corki, because I mean, just in lane alone, Vex I think outranges Corki, and then also in team fights, she goes and has, the AOE, fear, and then also being able to long range engage and just burst a backline if she can land her ult on squishy target.
And I fully think that if Kog'Maw's not banned here, I think FF will pick it up.
I think CC's going to ban the hyper carries. You see the Twitch ban, I'm guessing it'll be a Kog'Maw, or what other hyper carry could they ban away? Vayne, maybe?
Could be Vayne.
Vayne would be kind of short. Vayne would be kind of short range,
yeah,
I think.
I think Kog'Maw's more of a threat here. We're about to see though. I don't think if they
CC sniff it out.
Yeah, if they don't ban Kog'Maw, I think FF will pick it, like hands down. And there it is.
Yeah, I like that. That's a super good read on their part.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, it's telegraphed enough that me and you both saw it. So
yeah, like here's the thing. Like you see a Lulu, right? So they're gonna play one of those super hyper carry auto attack based champions, Vayne, Kog'Maw, Twitch,
Jinx, stuff like that. And Kog'Maw's seen a lot of play in Beer League this season, like a lot of play. So I'm not surprised at all to see that banned out. And it will be Braum being banned out on the Vi and Akali towards JoJo in the top lane as well. I like the Vi ban. I feel like Vi had a lot of presence early game in that last game. So I think it's a respect ban coming out, but Mumu will be picked up for Braum.
Yeah, I'm giving JWM the counter pick in the top lane here.
I do like the Amumu pick though. Honestly, I think Amumu is super solid.
They went the Vayne.
I think CC has the tools to handle the Vayne. But do it, Zesty. Mordekaiser, Zesty Queso. A lot of damage threats for FF here. Even in the jungle, Jarvan does a lot of damage. So I like FF's comp here, honestly. Because if they don't, like, if they focus everything they got in the Vayne, the Mordekaiser, J4, and Corki are gonna shred you.
Oh, it's Janna top, yeah!
Oh, dude, no way!
Let's go!
Oh, why? No.
Okay, aside from the fact that like people love their, the Janna top stuff, into someone like a Mordekaiser, this is actually super, super good, right? So a Mord's not gonna be the kind of guy that gets, I think, insanely scary if you leave him alone, in a lane by himself. And then I think CC, you go and have now, you definitely win early game because Corki and Vayne, got to scale a little bit, and with a Vex, and a Jinx, I think you're definitely going to go and just win out on the map if the Janna's going to start roaming once she hits, level 2 or 3. And then Jarvan would, again, be able to out-skirmish and out-jungle the Amumu tempo-wise. But if Janna's going to run around and help the Amumu, that counters that early game advantage that Jarvan has in the 1v1 against the Amumu. So aside from just seeing Janna top, I really, really love this pick comp-wise. But I don't know how much practice CC has playing with a Janna top roaming.
It's my one thing. Okay, I understand the premise of this comp. Like, I understand it. I completely understand it. It's a funneling strat for your carries. I completely understand that. My one thing is that's putting so much eggs in a single basket. You know what I mean? Like, if Jinx and Thresh aren't able to get this early game advantage, that extra gold from the funnel strat that Janna doesn't mean anything. Especially if like the Corki and the Jarvan have a lot of roam potential as a duo. So CC really needs to heavily focus their bot side this game, like heavily. And if
I'll go. You finish your point first. Sorry.
Go.
I was gonna say, cause I disagree with you because I think you're missing the bigger picture. Like, the Janna's not trying to affect just the bot lane. She's gonna affect the whole map because CC's just gonna constantly have a numbers advantage all over the map with jungle, mid, and bot lane as the Janna roams across the map. So, I mean, again, like a Jarvan is an early game jungler where he's trying to go gank lanes early, go and get early lane pressure and kills. Especially against a Amumu, right? Like, he's going to have faster clear than the Amumu, do more damage early. But the Janna roaming, like, neuters that matchup, and I think turns it back in favor of CC, where now they're going to have the tempo advantage. The FF's comp, they outscale in the end, even with a Janna, right? Because it's not a double enchanter side on CC. So, CC, I think, is going to go and just... You're right. It's not it's an eggs in one basket strategy in that they have to just go and win through mid and early game with the Janna tempo, but it's not all eggs in one basket as in it's all in the bot lane. It's just across the team as a whole.
And I completely understand that. But if you look at CC's comp here, where's their damage coming from?
It's coming from the Vex and the Jinx.
Exactly. They have no damage outside
of Jinx and Vex. Usually the Janna comp is played with a super aggressive carry style jungler. And like Kiana, Talon, Zed, these assassins that have a lot of like priority in the early game, that getting kills on them is huge. Getting kills on the Mumu, yeah, helps him survive the initial initiation and like be tanky and not get bursted down after he engages. But if you don't have the damage behind you, you're not going to do crap, especially into a Vayne, Mordekaiser, Lulu. So
Yeah,
that
and I agree with you. I would have liked to have seen like a Jin Zhao or like a skirmisher.
like a
jungler.
stronger, more heavily damaged jungler. Like hell, even like a you can have like a tank jungler that does a lot of damage, like Cho'Gath or something like that. But picking up the Amumu with the Janna is kind of, you're lacking in a lot of areas that you need to be strong in terms of the Janna comp. So I don't know. I personally don't like it. I like to see it because it's fun and witty and exactly what I was talking about, just kind of off kilter. But
Yeah, so you got your wish.
yeah, I did.
Throwing a curveball.
I did get my wish, but I don't feel like I got my full wish because they picked an Amumu with it. That's my thing, is like Braum, like go Bali Bear, go something like something that has a good initiate but still does a lot of damage, you know.
Yeah. That's one thing I for sure am 100% with you on. That I would have liked to see a jungler with a little bit more damage potential on it.
I don't know. They do have the hard CC though. They have the Thresh. They have the Amumu. Does Janna go Glacial?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
for sure,
okay.
100%.
Yeah. So they have the damage mitigation on that with the CC, with the peel. So if CC plays this comp perfectly, they have about a 50% chance of winning this game.
Yeah, that's the other thing we should point out too, is like yeah, like on paper, like in theory, like what CC wants to do makes sense. But I think something that we haven't stated yet is that it's incredibly hard to execute.
Yeah.
I think well. On the other side, the other thing we haven't talked about too is like if you're FF and you see the Janna lock in top, if you're FF, if you haven't like practiced against this strat, it's like, okay, like how do we deal with this, right?
You put Nashor's Tooth on Mordekaiser and have them split. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But again, it's not just that. It's like, okay, like the rest of their team, how do they go and like rotate and match with like as the Janna's roaming throughout the map? Like that's the stuff that just like throws a wrench in how you normally go and think about the game. And that's why I love when new strategies like this pop up. It forces teams to like get locked in your, okay, this is how we play the game, this is how we go and like prepare for objectives, and this is how we think about macro overall. And then this new, Enchanter top thing gets thrown in where it's our understanding of how we play the game is now being fundamentally challenged and played in a different way, and it forces teams to have to go and like adapt. And I love that.
No, I love like new metas coming into the fold and different ways to look at the game, Like I completely agree with that. But I don't know, something about this particular meta doesn't sit right with me. I don't know why. I don't think of Janna as a roaming support, Like but the thing is, it has to be an enchanter. Like it has to be. So because their items are so cheap, which is why they can afford to just roam around, not CS, So
I mean, I've seen stuff actually where, mainly it is enchanters because they have like the cheapest items in the game. Because normally enchanters are supports who need cheaper items because they operate on a lower gold income. But I've seen stuff where other champs go top lane, like a Gragas, and then other champs as soon as they hit 6, they stop being in their lanes. They actually just go and roam around the same way as Janna would. They just do it a couple levels later.
I would love to see like a Leona top lane do that. Like,
dude,
like that's so fun because she can solo lane. She can solo lane. She has a pretty safe solo lane. She won't die pre-6, but she has like that hard CC that people are looking for. Like that plays well into this comp. So it's just the Janna pick. I think
is my one stipulation. And the Amumu. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm excited to see it play out. See what CC does with it. But
I mean, I know. I'm hoping. I'm guessing your prediction is FF's gonna win this,
oh
right?
yeah. Oh, hands down.
Okay, well, I have to go for CC, so we see the 1-1. I want to see the Janna top succeed. Yeah, I'm excited as heck for this game. We've been talking the whole time about just the Janna top because of how much this warps the game fundamentally. But it'll be fun to see too, like how big that gold difference between the top lane is and how much gold value that Mordekaiser can get being put in a lane on his own. I see he went Lethal Tempo too, which can we tell what his secondary runes are at all?
Mordekaiser? I would assume he went in the green tree.
Yeah, I hope he'd have Demolish too then as well.
Yeah. I would assume he went in the green tree. Probably went with Revitalize and Demolish for the bigger shields. I think old Janna was I'm reading Twitch chat. I think old Janna was a roaming support. I don't think new Janna is.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with the old stuff, but the other thing, okay, this is also confusing because I've been watching Lorelo is a professional or former pro that's been playing a lot of Janna top. One of the things that I've been personally watching is Janna's going smite gets to help their junglers do an early clear really fast. If the junglers start at top, so they both smite the objective, and that way they start their clear much faster. But Amumu opted to start bot side, and then Mercenary Wolf, I believe, started top. We're on the opposite sides of the map here.
The hook misses out of Aloe. And the one thing I like about FF's team comp here is not all the eggs in one basket sort of thing. Like everybody on their team, besides like Lulu, is a damage threat. Like you can't just blow 3 ultimates on one champion and expect them to not do anything, you know? So
my mind is going like 1,000 miles a minute though, because I'm trying to just like think of what I'm supposed to be looking for in this game, and it's all over the place. It's just like an analyst's like wet dream and nightmare at the same time.
yeah, exactly. Big damage coming out of Sleep A there. Showing his mastery on that champion. Ooh, is that the late shield from JWM?
So Janna's hit 3, so I'm wondering if this Janna's gonna stay in lane a longer time, or if as soon as she ends, because normally when they hit 3, they start roaming. So
well, I think you hit 3, but you want enough money for boots. So might just be waiting for that.
Yep. Also, the Mumu blew flash at some point. I didn't see where that happened.
I didn't see where that happened either.
Here, I'll rewind, see if I can figure it out.
But yeah, I think Janna's typically want to stay in the lane until you can get late traps. Aloe be going down, big shield coming out. Oh my god, the hook and the play. Reese is able to get out though, isn't taking that last tower shot. Big play coming out of FF. Nice look from Aloe though, honestly. The cleanse did come out though, and that pretty much saved Reese's life.
Yeah, and due to some good detective work, the Amumu blew flash to get over the wall and try to bandage toss the Corki mid lane, and he dodged it out.
Oh, nice. Good fancy feet coming up, Ben.
There's the Janna roam. Oh, look at that layering.
Doesn't have the fear. Doesn't have the fear though. Does now.
Like this is like so now they get mid prio because the Janna roamed mid, and now they'll get Drake prio. So this is what the Janna goes and does for you is like it goes and just gives you lane priority to a bunch of lanes, and if the Janna's roaming at times to give lanes priority before an objective, it should go and have the raw numbers there.
And Janna and Mumu in the bot side jungle of FF here, looking for that
So, yeah,
J4.
they got numbers advantage on the bot side. We'll see what happens here.
Sleep A, chunk down to half health. Will get poked out by Vermilion. Nice look by CC. Seeing that Janna and Amumu were behind him, he opts into flashing over the wall to safety.
A little bit of misexecution on CC's side because they landed the hook and they put the traps down, and they tried to go and flay him into the traps, but they missed. They were off by their timing by about half a second. And there's the Janna top overloading one side of the map with numbers and getting Drake Party. So yeah, who needs TPs down to the bot lane to get bot prior when you just pick an enchanter top and you just roam down and give them the priority that way?
That's a lot of gold going over this SDK, so though.
Yeah. Like that's the thing what I'm talking about too, where it's like, okay, so again, as a top laner, you're not used to getting a free lane. So when you get a free lane and you get the gold and the plates and the stuff that you get, it's like, okay, how do you go and then take the gold advantage that you're getting and helping your team win the game with it? So I'll be interested to see what they do with it and see how fast he can manage to take that top turret down.
I think you just rush Nashers and force it down their throats.
Yeah. He has Blasting Wand. Is Blasting Wand part of the Nashor's build?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Recurve Bow, Blasting Wand, and Amplifying Tome.
I mean, Blasting Wand is also part of the, what's the item that has Omnivamp that also goes?
Riftwalker? Riftmaker?
Yeah, Riftwalker.
Yeah,
yep.
whatever it's called.
Yeah. So Janna did go back top, and now she's recalling.
Probably getting those Ionian boots.
Yep.
Would be my guess.
So yeah, we look at the gold graphic. Yeah, it's a 2k gold difference right now. I'm guessing it's all purely in the top lane. No, it's 1k in the top lane, and it's also 1k in the bot lane between the 80 carries. That's where the gold difference, but it's even in pretty much everywhere else.
It's 1k between the support and the ADC difference. But JDM staying on levels too. That was one thing I was also afraid of with this new meta is Janna just falling behind on levels, but seems to be doing okay with it. Is that the case? So
Zesty just having
free
time of his life.
I think Zesty's okay with this being a GP main, just farming it up.
Oh, yeah. Like as a top laner too, there's nothing like better than knowing that you're not gonna get ganked, you're not gonna go and like get counterpicked and like have your laning phase like just non-existent. You just get to go and do what every top laner wants to do, just get gold for free.
And another thing I really like about this Mordekaiser pick, like we're about to see right now, I think, is that even if you are ganked, it doesn't matter. You know, you're Mordekaiser, you turn it into a 1v1.
Oh, they do gank him top. I was just gonna say I might have just cast or cursed him, but again, I think he was safe to begin with because he could have just ulted the Janna to get out of that 2v1 and probably kill the Janna.
Yeah.
You forced a flash out of him though, which is important though. Probably so now he can't go and get the turret down by himself pre 10 minutes. Runs from the vein.
Big hook, but Mercenary Wolf is here. They're opting to back out. Reese Race is running down Aloe here. Big chunk of damage.
Oh.
Bronstein is here in the mid lane. He does flash in. Nicely done. Big CC chain ult coming out, and Vermilion will fall.
Yeah, the Janna was just there for moral support the whole time. And now they're overloading the bot side of the map, but Amumu ult is down though, I believe. Yeah, it is.
Yep, he used it for that CC chain in the mid lane.
Oh, Janna's... Yep.
Janna is picked up here. JWM is forced on. Oh, the burn from the red buff comes through. Bromstein is going to get run down here, but the Jinx Trap's a little bit far behind. Nicely done by Reese Race.
Yeah, see that's, again, CC has the right idea, but they just executed their positioning on all that.
Yep, JWM getting caught out. Nice tower dive coming out of Mercenary Wolf here. He still is tanking.
Oh, wow.
Will Jinxall come out here?
Oh,
will Jinxall come out here? Picks up 2. Trooper! And he is looking for a third. Is this going to be a triple kill going over? Solo triple kill going over to Trooper here.
Red buff burn is going to slow the Lulu down enough.
The W will be coming out for Trooper here in a second, but it won't matter. Big play coming out of Trooper.
So I was getting ready to go and say that this game was pretty much over at this point with how badly that play went for CC, but then the Jinx went and got a triple kill.
Reese got minion cooked there pretty hard.
Yeah. And she got a small shutdown on the Vayne, 2 for 150 gold. But meanwhile, Mordekaiser did get that top turret by himself, so it's top turret down.
That actually swings the gold lead in favor of Trooper too.
Yeah. God, they're down 3,500 gold as a team. Holy crap.
That's what it's about though. Game those objective bounties when they pop up.
Yeah. And, okay, again, so they're gonna get Drake here because they have numbers advantage, and Ward's TP is not back up yet. And it's not, again, it's not even unleashed teleport, so he can only TP to a tower, so he has to walk all the way down here. AWM has 6, but he should not be the one clearing out a ward in the pit with no one else there. He's gonna die.
No, JDM makes it out. Almost.
Oh
eats,
no!
Corki.
Baits out the Corki package.
Nice ult coming out of JWM there to keep the Corki off of him. Mercenary Wolf will ult in though to secure the kill. Bromstein getting an ult off, but only one there is Vex. Can't follow up on it. Nice hook coming out of Aloe and a nice snipe coming out of Trooper. Trooper going in for more. Picks up the Reese kill. Double kill. Will be a third for Trooper. He's looking for 4. He has that red buff slow.
Oh, he's got him.
He has that red buff slow. Will it come down? And it looks like a will. Quadra kill going over the Trooper. Huge.
So, okay. This Janna is actually next level bait because they used a bunch of their offensive abilities to try to kill her. She ulted, and they had to go and use the Jarvan ult to go and kill her. It's like all those abilities were down by the time the Jinx came in late. A great Thresh Lantern too to get the Jinx to be able to close that gap and get in there and start that chain off.
And a really nice hook of Aloe too.
Yeah.
Like really nice hook. So no, wow, absolutely insane play coming out of
Look,
CC.
right? Like just a couple like 45 seconds ago, I mentioned that the gold lead was almost 4K in favor of FF, and now it's what
2.5.
2,500.
2.5.
Yeah.
And Trooper has about a 1,300 gold lead on Reese.
Yeah.
Absolute huge swing. Yeah. 7-0
Also-
Jinx at 12 minutes. Absolutely nuts.
So you did call it the Mordekaiser did go the Nashor's Tooth, which we like to see again. Like your job is just to go and be knocking down towers, man. That's your only job until probably 14 minutes when your TP becomes unleashed. You can actually start impacting the map without having to roam with your feet.
Because literally no one can contest him. You have to send at least two people top to contest him.
And even then, it's harder to do against a Mordekaiser because he just ults the weakest of the 2 members most times.
And that's why I really like the Mordekaiser pick. But on the other hand, CC does have these initiation tools to start these fights with that really fed Jinx. Like we're about to see right here.
Topside
He
here.
doesn't have fear up, but he does have the damage.
Yeah, Mord ult down onto the Vex, but I think she's gonna live long enough.
I think she will.
She does not.
Bromstein is here too. She does not. He takes the blast cone over for some reason, but Jinx picks up another kill on the Mercenary Wolf. The Lantern, huge Lantern coming out of Aloe. This will be Zesty Queso going down as well. 9-0 Jinx.
Yeah, this game has turned in from CC to FF versus FF versus Jinx.
Pretty much. Yeah, about a third of the team's gold in the pocket of Trooper right now. Trying to push this advantage, get this mid lane turret down.
Ooh, that's a really ambitious play, but nope, I lied.
Big play coming out of Bromstein, but he won't fall to turret. Oh, the heal comes out, and the shield doesn't land. They're really trolling it for this turret.
Yeah, it's a lot of missed execution, but they still get the turret overall. But dude, this Jinx is gonna. How much gold does she have when she backs here?
She is sitting with 1,600.
Okay.
So I would assume she'd be working towards that Runans given their team comp.
Yeah, holy cow.
But it looks like it will be Phantom Dancer with the 2 longsword pickup with the
Rift
Zeal.
Herald's gonna go down mid too, so this is almost gonna get the mid lane turret. It's just the Thresher to defend right now.
It will go down unless he can get that proc. He does, but it's still gonna go down anyway. Bromstein is almost here. He doesn't have ultimate though. The flame misses.
All I know is that CC's gonna go and have map priority wherever this Jinx is on the map, because
That is
FF is-
insanely fed Jinx.
yeah, FF has not scaled enough yet where they can go and actually go and in reality fight this Jinx unless she's just wholly out of position without any of her teammates to back her up.
Trooper just racking in the fantasy points this game too. Holy.
Yeah, kudos to whoever has Trooper on their fantasy team. Looks like they're gonna dive Sleepy in the bot lane here.
Oh, he uses his shield preemptively. His ultimate is up though. That's pretty strong turn tool, but it looks like he's just gonna back out, give the turret.
Yeah, it's good rotation by FF to go and just overload side of the map, and then only Sleep Bay there to go and cover it. Can't do it on his own.
I don't know how I feel about this Fan Dancer pick coming out Jinx. It is good going into the Mordekaiser, and maybe going into Reese, who's gonna want to essentially duel him. But I think Runan's, given their team comp of hard CC with the Mumu, with the Thresh, I think is just a little bit better. I don't think Fan Dancer is by any means like a bad pickup in this game, but I think Runan's might have been a stronger 2-item power spike.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, especially when you're probably going to have another big team fight around this third Drake here,
Yeah.
I assume. Sleep Bay going top, Mord TPing early here. TP will be answered, so we are going to have a 5v5. Jinx is not here that yet, though,
I feel
so
like I'm a little far behind you.
you might have to speed it up a
Yeah.
second.
Just a few seconds. Bromstein sees the bandage here. Doesn't have vision though, so I guess he didn't see it. That would have been a big 3-man bandage. Ulti, if he would have gotten it. But he does need to land his ultimate on Reese Race.
Yeah, and he doesn't have flash to go and close that gap either, so he needs to go and land it purely without the flash.
Vex could also set
Dragon
up these fights.
started
She
up.
has her fear up. She has her ultimate up. And she misses it on Vermilion. But they are playing into a choke here with Corki package up.
Yeah, and the Mord ulted the Amumu too, so jungler can't come in and steal it. Forces the ult out of the flash out of the Jinx.
Big flash out Jinx, actually. Good positioning tool. This will be Zesty. Walks out, actually. Ultimate comes out. The Delu all picks him up. Trooper doing his best to just try and get out of this. Jarvanel lands, too, and puts the other one back behind him. Big play coming out of FF. And he will fall.
Yeah, and I want to call out too, I think the reason that fight goes the way of FF,
It's because of Mordekaiser.
well, it's not just Mortal, because Mortal stops the jungler from being able to go in and do a contest, but Vermilion went in and forced the Jinx to have to flash over the wall defensively, which means once the dragon fight was down and they fought in that narrow choke point, which again would be perfect for a Jinx, especially if she had Runans instead of the Phantom Dancer, she doesn't have the flash to go and dodge on all the abilities that are going to be coming at her, so give Vermilion props for going and forcing that the Jinx flash before the real fight even started.
Yeah, and I was actually kind of surprised by the composure that Vermilion had, because there was four people in a choke, and that's usually like a Corki wet dream with package, but he held it and used it where he thought it was most opportune, and it honestly was
I
a
think-
big play.
Yeah, because he traded, I think, his package and his flash for Jinx flash, which again, all the eggs are truly in the Jinx basket at this point in the game because the Vex did not get snowballed. It was the Jinx instead. So yeah, forcing the flash out of the one member on CC's team who went Kraken Slayer, not Gale Force. So the only way she gets away from a Jarvan ulti or just poor positioning, needs to create some space for herself, is a flash or a Janna being able to there disengage for her. Otherwise, she's just dead.
Even with the Gale Force, if Jarvan gets his ultimate off, you can't Gale Force or the wall.
Oh, you can't?
No.
That's news to me. That shows how much I play AD carry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it stops on terrain, doesn't it? I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Could always go to practice tool and figure that out eventually.
I'm pretty sure Gale Force stops on terrain.
The more and more I think about this, the more and more I like the Mordekaiser pick. Okay, the Mord didn't go and pick into the Janna. The Janna picked into the Mord. But I think the Mord was a super good pick. just blind topside.
So it actually can, but very few walls. So it probably can go over J4s if you're right next to it.
Okay.
It's kind of like how Katarina W. You can go over walls a bit if you're positioned correctly. They might have fixed it. I just did a quick Google search, so my information might be wrong, but
So 7K gold lead, roughly coming to the side for FF. Man, I think CC had a really good chance to actually go and win this game. Up until that Drake fight, I feel like both games actually. Sorry, no. Game 1 was more the fourth Drake fight, but I mean this game basically turned on its head at that third Drake fight. I feel like a lot of games that I go and play and watch really go and are determined by how the fights at third Drakes go, because a lot of times early Drakes aren't split 1-1. It's one team getting a 2 Drake advantage, and then the team that scales a little bit better goes and gives up the first 2 Drakes and then doesn't fight until the third one, and then the game, momentum-wise, really gets decided at that third Drake.
yeah, third dragon is definitely like a priority dragon because you don't want them to be at soul point.
Uh-oh, Reese face checking here, but again, it's just an Amumu and a Thresh, so I think he gets away.
He does have his sponge up though. He's waiting for the Amumu ult to come down, but I feel like Braum played that really well.
Yeah, that was a super good job. I thought they weren't gonna have the damage to do it.
Yeah, I think Braum played that really well. Waited until he had his second package up, his second bandage up before he ulted, because he knew that Reese had cleanse.
Yeah.
So no.
Look at that! Like Reese put up the global taunt buff, and his team goes and uses Rift Herald to get tier 3 on the top side.
And honestly, good positioning of FF for that too, because that Rift must have been like expiring out soon. So good call out of them.
Jinx and the Amumu both have paid their QSS tax here. And I think it's really smart to go and make sure that the Mordekaiser can't go and take you out of fights. So I think the Amumu and the Jinx are definitely the 2 most important members to have QSSs on.
I would agree. Because Mordekaiser being able to take Mumu out of the fight when he's the big. Oh my God, big damage coming out of Vermilion there. Early TP coming out of Zesty Queso isn't locked up by the traps. Big fear coming out of Sleepy, but the Lulu shield's too big. The Hallow Hook comes out. Sleepy looking for the fight. It immediately flashes out. Mordekaiser ulting Bromstein. And it is a 5v4 right now, but Jinx is still alive. Mercenary Wolf looking for this engage, is able to get it, but Jinx flashes out immediately. Reese Race a little deep for his britches, but that's just how he likes to play. And Jinx is still alive here. No mana for these rockets, but I think they just give. Amumu is not up yet.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate the Amumu ult was used to kill Reese in the bot lane, because if that Amumu was ult for that team fight, I think this team fight goes way different.
Trooper's not done yet. Trooper going for more. It picks up the Zesty Queso more than likely. Nope. Mercenary Wolf stops it from happening, but Mercenary Wolf will fall.
Oh no. Oh no.
The Jinx W lands, but that huge Corki damage. Sleepy takes down Reese Race. Oh my God. Interesting fight. That was, that was Trooper just being like, I got this, I got this, I got this. Like, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, Trooper took his Flintstone vitamins today.
Yeah, he did.
Wrong. That's Baron too, oh my gosh.
Big play of FF. They lost the Dragon, initially lost the team fight as well, but they turned it around. Aloe needs to get in here and tank. Bromstein might fall.
You might have to smite for health, actually.
Vermilion does have package though. This could be a huge package look.
Oh,
it
no.
is. Bromstein locks him down though. He is bursted. Are they gonna continue on to the Baron? It did not reset, so they do have it. Nicely done by FF.
I swear to God, I was looking at like a 7 or 8k gold difference at one point, and now with the objective bounties and everything else in the Baron, now they're only behind a little under 3k gold.
Yeah, I think they picked...
What is this game?
Yeah. It's absolutely nuts, is what this game is.
I tell you, man, I was tired at 11 o'clock when we started this, but I'm wide awake now.
Dude, I thought like
This game is still, I don't think the series is as crazy as the IQ series was, but it's getting there. Like, this game is absolutely nuts.
Oh. Okay, think about this now, right? So now that they have the Baron, they're gonna go and be able to push out all their lanes. Look at all the staining gold on the map, which I'm sure are gonna be, I don't know if they're objective bounties or not, I can't tell in spectator mode. But tier 1s in the bottom and top lanes, and then potentially tier 2s are on the table as well, where it's gonna be staining gold, and I think you're gonna be surprised at how fast this this gold gap is gonna close as they go and pick up these tier 1s if they can. But
Yeah, there's a lot of staying gold on the map. We're heading into the mid game here now, and the thing about scaling team comps is if you don't take the advantage once you start scaling with your 3-item power spikes or so, once the game gets to that like 40-minute mark, everyone's full build, you know. So I think CC definitely needs to push their advantage here.
yeah, and the Jinx went and took Krug's top and then reset. I'm guessing it's for an item buy. She got LDR, it looks like. But I also like what Zesty Queso's doing here too. He's like, you guys want to go and put 5 mid, then I'm gonna go and push in your top lane with an open inhibitor.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Sleepe saw him on a ward and is going to match.
Which is smart too, because his Unleashed teleport is coming up soon, so that's the one person you do want to go and be answering in side lanes right now, because he can come and join the fight.
But he's also one of the 2 damage dealers on the side of CC.
Yeah. But I don't think CC needs damage. They got Jinx. They're fine.
Yeah, that's true. They got 3-item Jinx.
Oh, Mord's gonna ult him.
That's the case, so looking to go in here.
Oh,
Wait
really
for
good
that shield to
getting clear
fall.
off
Oh
there.
my god, big damage coming out onto Sleepe. Huge. That's the case with solos Sleepe. But JWM is on his way here.
Yeah, but Zesty's gonna die for this, but think of what he just did, right? Everything that he just did completely neutralized the Baron advantage that CC got.
Yeah.
And he just forced all of them to get no turrets off this, and all they get is a shutdown on him with the Jinx.
And it looks like
Look at-
FF are looking to get the spot lane turret here.
yeah, this is FF honestly just having better macro.
Oh yeah,
Plain and
completely.
simple.
And Dragon's coming up here. Trooper is in the top lane, trying to push this in. And that's the thing, is you have to keep these waves pushed out if you're gonna play like this. You pretty much never want the waves on your side of the map.
Yeah. And Baron buff's gone now too, so the Baron buff only was used for the gold that it got for killing it. Other than that, it did nothing.
Which is pretty substantial. 1.5k gold is pretty substantial.
And I guess it also stops FF from being able to like push on you and they get the tier 2 in the bot lane, but
Yeah.
again, that's just super good job by Zesty to go and force that pressure topside, and then his team understanding they have to go and their whole team has to run to answer him, and they just go and take that tier 2 in the bot lane for, I think tier 2 turrets are what, 400 gold?
Tier 2? I think,
it's-
no, I think they're... Honestly, I'm not sure. I think it's 150 a person.
Okay.
Yeah, so 750.
This is scary. So
Mercenary
Braum does have flash ult.
Mercenary Wolf is not spotted here. They don't know he's in the push here, so he could get a big ulti coming down here. Oh my god, the R does land onto Vermilion.
Oh, he didn't hit-
Mercenary
he
Wolf
didn't
trying to
hit the knockdown.
distract. Mercenary Wolf will go down, but Sleepe as well. Trooper on the front lines. Oh my god, big Corki ult coming out.
Yeah. He doesn't even have Ludens finished, and he's still doing that much.
Yeah, it's actually nuts.
Yeah. Braum still has flash ult, I believe, though, and Mercenary Wolf isn't here.
And there is no result either.
Yeah.
So this might be a look for Braum here. Oh, he gets the, oh my god, he lands it. Lulu will go down. Oh, big Corki ult as well. Bromstein looking for more, but finds himself alone. Jinx is on the back line though. Oh my god, big crit coming out. Trooper to pick up Reese. Aldo buying his time. Zesty Queso is doing so much damage, but he isn't able to take it. This will be third dragon going over to CC.
Yeah, Mord ult being used on the support there gets the kill, but Braum comes in for the cleanup.
And
Mercenary Wolf
Mercenary
might
Wolf
try
is
to come in
here,
and steal it.
and it is taken. Nicely done by CC. CC played that fight really well. very patiently, playing it really slow, looking for the big picks, and they got the Lulu, which was a big pick. So nicely done by CC.
Yeah, and I think the whole reason that CC goes and wins that fight after the whole minute and 30 seconds that roughly took is because the Jarvan, Mercenary Wolf did a great job at hiding, but once it came his time to go and initiate that fight, he missed the Flagon Dragon. I didn't see him knock anybody up. I think if he goes and knocks the members up, then FF turns and comes in and probably goes and just wipes that fight really early.
He wouldn't have died as quickly as he did. But I think he also did what he probably should have done. Yeah, he missed his Flagon Drag, but he disrupted the back line of CC to not follow up on Bailey. Because Bailey got like I think it was like a 3 or 4 man fear with his alt W.
Yeah.
And that would have been pretty disastrous if Braum was able to make it in there and get an alt off. So he did what he's supposed to, just not as well as he could have.
Yeah, but you saw how low some of the health bars were. Like, if he goes and does a little bit more damage because he hits the Flagon Dragon and whatnot. Also, this Baron's going to be gone by the time that FF get here. This is gone.
That Jinx is so strong. Nice traps coming out of Trooper there. And it will just go down. Oh, Trooper going for more here. The Vexal does not land.
But Baron once again going down to the side of CC. Yeah, I think FF just underestimating how fast they could shred that Baron.
Honestly, I agree with the Bloodthirster choice here on Trooper instead of the IE.
Yep.
Like, I think that was a really good pickup. And the thing is, he has to hold on to his QSS, so this just won't be an IE game for Trooper unless he wants to sell his boots.
I was going to say, I think eventually he might end up selling his boots at some point.
Quite possibly. I mean, Fan Dancer does give a lot of movement speed, but...
And then don't you get you only get the Janna movement speed buff if you're moving towards her, correct?
Yep, towards her. Yep.
Okay.
So Jedi Young positions correctly, you can definitely keep Trooper alive, but...
And JWM normally is going to be right on top of the Jinx because he's there to go and just disengage for them trying to dive onto the Jinx.
Yeah, and look at his gold lead. Almost cutthroat even.
Yeah.
And I would say a huge chunk of that, again, almost a third of all the gold on CC side is in the pocket of Jinx.
Yeah, this is going to go and be a 40-minute game because I don't think any massive like 5v5 team fights are going to happen. All the team fights that we're seeing in this game are happening around objectives, and it's actually all the team fights have been around Drakes and not even the Barons.
Yeah, there was one big team
that,
fight
like,
after I think CC took the Baron, and then they got cleaned up. Oh no, that was last game. Yeah.
And again, the other funny thing too is that yes, like, I think people underestimate how impactful Cloud Soul is as a Dragon Soul, but it's not the kind of soul where I'm like, okay, if we go and get this, our team just should win the game.
Oh my god, that's
W
one
dude.
That was one W. What?
Yeah, imagine how much an auto crit would do.
And Reese is looking for Bailey here. He doesn't have his spear.
Oh!
Fancy footwork coming out of Reese to dodge a couple of Sleepy's abilities.
And again, FF I think are doing a really good job at understanding how they go and play this game where they're not choosing to fight in straight up 5v5. They're saying, okay, you want to go and play around your Jinx? We're just going to choose not to play wherever you put your Jinx because our individual solo laners are stronger than yours. Like the Mumu having to go and match the Mordekaiser. And again, Vayne goes and does, I think, 1v1 the Vex, even if Sleep A goes and hits most of his abilities. So
I agree with the blue blood going over the Trooper here. Keep that mana up for those rockets.
Oh.
Dude, spicy game.
Once again, we're just seeing little skirmishes break out here and there until the Drakes come up because the Drakes, like the universal sign for, okay guys, here we go, we're gonna team fight.
We fight now. But Zesty is looking to just push in this top lane here. His TP is up. Sleepy's TP is up as well though.
Yeah.
I wonder if Jinx wins this 1v1. I don't think she does. Oh, okay.
I think she would. She has the Merc Scimitar, so...
Yeah, but he has Thornmail Rylai's.
Oh,
big.
Going in.
He has Zonia's, though. Is he going to be able to pop it off? He won't. The Polymorph is huge. JJ Yum gets ulted by the Mordekaiser.
Oh,
But this
so-
probably will be Zesty Queso going down with the support of JWM here.
Yeah, so they're trading Drake. Yeah.
It was a good look by Sleepe, but you didn't have vision of the rest of the team, so he essentially just
That and like
dove
yeah,
into a
and
1v4.
yeah, you also had no follow up. Like the Amumu was the only other damage source there because the Jinx was topside. So, I just want to call out my man Zesty for how much pressure he's going and constantly putting on this top side. He hasn't gotten the inhibitor yet, unfortunately, but again, no one can answer him 1v1. It always has to be at least 2 people. And with that being the case, CC doesn't get to go and do what they want to do, which is just group up as 5 and win team fights. Because I think if they group up as 5 and the teams are just even on paper in terms of how they execute, CC should win. But Mordekaiser is like, nope, that's not how we're going to play this game. You guys have to send 2 members at minimum to deal with me every single time top, or you're going to lose your top inhibitor. Yeah, so once again, doing the song and dance, pushing out lanes. This tier 1 in the top has still stood the test of time for FF.
And it looks like they're grouping up to take it right now.
Yeah. And Baron's coming up again for the 3rd time this game. We'll see if CC can once again take their 3rd Baron of the game. But I think
Honestly,
FF is
good
more
rota-
better positioned this time to go and pick this one up.
Yeah, honestly, good rotation coming out CC here too. Focusing these top lane turrets down while Baron's up. Make sure they're on the top side of the map.
Yeah. But I also like what Reese is doing here, where they're getting mid lane prime, pushing down the mid lane.
They have the dive potential though, I think. CC does. Oh my god. Oh my
Sleep
god. Big chunk of damage going down to Sleep Egg. Will this be a... Oh, it will go out.
Flash!
Nicely done.
With rapid fire. Oh, no, not rapid fire. He doesn't have rapid fire. What am I talking about?
That was just rockets, dude. That was Lethal Temple of rockets. Nice. Zonia's coming out of Zesty Queso here. He will get taken down though. The traps lands. But Reese Race is looking to end. Sleep is the only person contesting him. Oh my god. Could this be a win for CC? Oh no. Someone has to back for Reese. Reese is able to 1v1 Sleep A.
Oh, they're just gonna go and do Baron. You see, okay, so like, see what happens? Mordekaiser was there for a team fight. FF loses the team fight.
And the Sleep A Zonia is still up.
Wait, they
Mercenary Wolf looking
Wow.
for something here.
backed, and the Jinx ends up getting 2 inhibitors, and they haven't gotten Baron yet.
It looks like they are looking to chase him down. Thresh does have Mobies.
Yeah, no, they're eventually gonna kill Reese, but the problem is Reese has bought so much time that he's gonna die, but the other team is not gonna be able to go and get. Oh, he flashed. He shouldn't have flashed. Oh my god.
Oh,
he's-
big Jinx ult coming out. Vermilion looks like he might fall tier 2, but the package is used. Big damage coming out from the package, though.
I was gonna say Reese bought enough time where his team now doesn't actually lose Baron because of how much time he bought, and I think
Yeah.
CC should have rotated back to Baron and just given up the inhibitors.
And now with those double inhibs down, this is actually big for FF. They have a lot of pressure on the map due to it.
I still think they're gonna go and be able to get the Baron though.
Oh, yeah.
Scorpion package.
No, Corey, he just used it.
Okay. Zesty ult Aloe. And
Oh, my God. Trooper having a heyday in the backlines here again. A 3rd Baron picked up for CC. Bromstein looking for more. Oh, my God. It lands.
Oh, wow.
Sleep A just annihilates Vermilion.
Oh no!
Oh, another
It's so
one.
unfortunate for Vermilion to go and thinking he was getting away from the Corki, but ended up going into the Vex ultimate.
Bromstein having a little bit of disrespect and will probably die for it now.
Yeah, he's gonna die. That was a greedy location to
That
go back
was
for.
really disrespectful.
Oh, the banish toss to
No,
pop.
he's dead.
More time.
Honestly, he probably should have just died sooner. Because Dragon's going to be up in 40 seconds here. This is Soul Point.
Yeah.
That was really
man.
disrespectful of Braum.
Dude, I'm not even playing in this game and I'm sweating right now.
Yeah, honestly. Remember how I said eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
it
I mean, it's working.
is working. They actually have a gold lead now, too, about 3.2k.
Yeah, it's like that meme of Anakin from.
Oh my god! Nice CG chain coming out. The meme of Anakin?
No, no.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
in the fields of
Pod
Pep-
Racer. It's
Oh,
working.
that one. It's working!
Yeah, but they don't have the jungler and they don't have a true frontline tank because the Mumu is dead. So I think honestly they probably have to give this up.
What do you think? Do you think Trooper sells his boots for IE? He's sitting on 5,000 gold.
I think at some point, yeah, he has to sell boots. Because again, like if he gets a reset off, he just gets enough speed where he can close down team fights
Oh
anyway.
my god. Imagine if that was an IE
But-
crit.
Oh,
Oh my god, Vermilion's just executed once again. Big E coming out zesty though. The Trooper doing his best. He is able to get it though. Bromstein comes out. I think this might be the game. It is. GG. And honestly, Bromstein deserves to lose. He completely trolled his team there. They had every chance at winning. He was super disrespectful.
wait, in that last team fight?
No, when he died down here. When he died next to Blue's base. He was sitting there trying to back and then dancing.
Oh, okay, got it.
And
Yeah, 'cause
taunting.
that's why that team fight in the game ultimately ends is because he did a greedy back. Dotcom wasn't there for the team fight because I think if he's there, that's probably a wipe the other way. Oh my god, what a series!
Honestly.
I can't wait to see the damage charts here too. This is gonna be interesting. So I will give props to, I mean, both teams here for that, how they played around, just how different that game was in the early to mid game with the Janna top. I think FF did a good job at splitting, and then just keep splitting on that one side of the map. The advantage that the Mordekaiser got by being able to get all that solo gold for himself, but also CC for going roaming around early, getting the early Drake pressure, and then doing what they did to get the Jinx ahead the way that they did. But ultimately, yeah, one or two bad decisions in that late game cost them the game at that final team fight for the Cloud Soul.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's head up.
Dude.
Yeah, he
I would have caught
definitely
up to him
walked out.
eventually, though. Like,
If
he
he would have
was,
walked
He
out
just
right
needed to
away,
be
he's
there.
out.
He could have left
Yeah.
early and be fine.
Right.
I
Yeah.
suppose.
That's true.
Thanks for the cast.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
job,
Yeah.
casters.
Thanks for casting.
Honestly, exciting series to watch.
Honest casting I've
Oh
ever
yeah.
entire life.
It felt like a pretty close series, I will admit.
The
I feel like
NFL's
we
fucking
proved real hard
rigged.
twice.
Reese, I hate you, by the way.
Yeah,
I
same.
know.
You saw that my fear was down and you just started running at me. I was like, God damn it, I'm
did.
vexed.
I
What do
know.
I do here?
He did that twice.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I
just
mean,
sitting in mid lane and I'm like, okay, do we see everybody? I'm like, the only one I don't see is a Mumu. The second I see him, I'm just running.
I think
If
I
it's
If
worth
it's on that for
anything-
1 second, I'm just like, alright, I'm going.
I shouldn't have. When you were taking inhib, I just shouldn't have taken that fight because I missed my ult already.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was the
This
play
feels
top
bad.
where I ulted you at your inhib, but dude, you lived for so long. Your whole team was able to come and clean me up
Oh,
after.
Yeah,
I was like-
I got stopwatch after that. I was
Yeah,
like,
like,
There was one where you
If I
ulted
would've
me
just
in
had
him
that
too, and I was
before
like,
that
I'm just
fight.
gonna knock you up 6 times.
The Vex looked really good though, Bailey. You got a lot of picks
Thanks.
in team fights.
yeah,
Oh my
it's kind of
god,
my
just the last one
it's my
was
new answer to
insane.
Corky too, because late game I can just blow him up if nobody's around him, right? Like,
Even if there was, bro, we were just like, I was just like trying to get poked down on the Jinx, and I just like wasn't thinking about anything else, and then
Yeah, I would
you come out of
literally-
nowhere, and I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah,
I'm
I
done.
like
I
it
would-
as an answer for Corky for sure.
All right, guys, good games. I'm gonna bounce for a little bit, but I'll be back.
Alright,
peace out.
catch you later.
Games,
Later.
bro.
Who's sticking
Thank you.
around?
Trooper played
I'm
his
sticking around.
Trooper played his ass off. That
Trooper
last game.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he said
Like,
GGs too. He just had
Yeah,
to
it's
go to
gotta
work.
work.
uh,
As
yeah,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, he thought those were really good games though.
Yeah,
He
really.
has to go to
It's hard to
work
be
after doing
upset,
all that work in
honestly.
the final game. Damn.
Yeah. Honestly, really fun series to cast. It was really exciting.
Definitely not upset about the second game. First game, little maldy about, not so much the
Yeah.
second game.
I think I was up too much as Corky, like too close.
What my
Wait,
question
what-
is
what
like,
happened?
what was Braum doing? What was
With the
Braum
recall?
doing? Yeah. No, he
the
didn't just
recall?
like troll recall twice. He taunted.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know. He's
He
being
did.
Braum.
he was being Ryan. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's throws randomly sometimes. We all
Yeah. Fair enough. All right.
Ryan.
Well, thanks for the game, guys. I really enjoyed the cast.
I look forward to watching it back. That felt like a good series.
You guys
Yeah,
want to right now?
I'm gonna,
Alright, well,
I'm
No,
gonna,
we'll
I
end
gotta
it here.
shower
you
and
guys are
get
gonna hear me
ready.
cackling like